Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Let's Play the Third Courier. And so right now, we're going to head over to... Actually, before we do anything else, I'm going to use... Oops. Okay, well, it's alright. Save the game. Ooh, I don't need the computer chip. It's this mouse. Okay, so I'm going to use answering machine, see if I got any new messages. And of course, Tammy is calling from Acme Carpet Cleaners. Of course, the carpet looks a little bit orange shag. Hey, sorry I missed you. Meet me at the Axback for a beer. I'll be there for a few more hours. Oh, by the way, this is Jack. Okay. Don't know who that is. And there's no more messages on the answering machine. Actually, what we can do is we can also, while we're at it, use the computer. See if we got any new messages. Alright. We got new mail. Okay, got that part. Negotiating for parts still. Okay. Use street vendors, some will be valuable. Oh, I plan to do that, yes. We'll reach Martin through a contact at Roof Bookstore in West Berlin. Keep a low profile, but may be worth investigating. Moscow has made appearance at bookstore already. Alright. Now, speaking of Roof Bookstore, the name of our contact there was Wolfgang Schultz. Owns and manages a small bookstore in the Kudam. Nationality not verified, but suspected Russian. Very little information available. Wolfgang Schultz. Sounds like a very Russian name, doesn't it? Okay. Well, I will go ahead and take us over to mission support. See what kind of goodies we can get. Hailing a cab, going to mission support. Costing us 10 Deutsche Mark. Alright, and there's Daphne again. And let's see, is Nigel available? Of course, he's booked a solid all the time. Alright. Now we've got our stats again. Supplies, where I need to go. Okay, so the place we need to go is supply. So the things we need, we've got the Superbug, wouldn't hurt. Tannic acid wouldn't hurt. Visa card wouldn't hurt. 1000 Damok wouldn't hurt. Gas mask, flashlight, and briefcase. I can carry no more. Alright, you know what I can do? Since I've already got the computer chip, I can go ahead and drop the Axback matches. I don't need them anymore. And it looks like I've got all the items that I need for right now. Alright, so we've got some goodies. Okay, so the next thing to do is save it. Well, they did mention street vendors, so I'm going to go and find a street vendor to talk to. Let's see if I've got anything. Negative response. So this is not a street vendor that can really help us by the looks of him, unfortunately. So we will move on. And of course, because we're sneaking, we are running into our friend and helper again. Okay. Alright, so now we're in Schillerstraße. And we've got more police, Papers, 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 papers. There we go. And we're at the park. So it probably would not be a bad idea to explore the park a little. Yep. Well, it's either do this or we get a lot of baddies to fight, so. Alright, so Kantstraße. And we are Martin Luther Straße. Of course, Martin Luther, pretty important. Won't explain who Martin Luther is. Let's see. And we're back in the Schillerstraße. Yep. A balloon vendor. Alright, well, it looks like we've got. Might as well use this. Use the photo fax. Positive response. There he is. Now let's see if we can bribe him and get some information out of him. You're beginning to get my attention. Geez, what a cheapskate. Yeah, of course, they always say that. I seen this girl, Hildegard Frobel. Yes, we know about her. With this guy you're hunting, lives on Friedrichstraße. And it so happens that Friedrichstraße is in East Berlin, which means we're going to have to take the U-Bahn, and there is an U-Bahn crossing into East Berlin. Thank you very much, Mr. Balloon Salesman. Now, if I just buy a balloon and use it to make my voice really high, and yeah, I'm a real customer. Well, this guy is in the way, so I'm going to have to deal with him. There we go. Alright. Let's see. I better disarm myself, otherwise I will risk getting shot at by police. All those encounters from sneaking. There again. If I would have been armed and encountered this cop, he would have shot at me. I could have gotten killed. I've actually gotten killed before doing that, so yeah. That would be annoying though, to have to show your papers to every single police officer. But that's how it is. So now we are on the Hauptstraße. And Kantstraße. Okay. Alright. Potsdamer Straße. Alright, so we are headed in the right direction. We need to find the U-Bahn station. There we go. We are on Kudam. If I can find the U-Bahn. Nope, wrong way. It's a lot. As soon as this video is done, I'm gonna take a count on the next video, I'm gonna go over how many times I've actually had to show a police officer my papers. I'm gonna see which video is gonna have the most one. See how many times in the whole game. I've gotta keep a track on it because I'm willing to bet it's probably dozens of times. Alright, now before we go into the U-Bahn, one thing I wanted to advise you of, because we are going into East Berlin, we are going to have to take the sneak option off, because if we wander around in East Berlin and sneaking, that will attract the attention of the police, and then you will be arrested, and then you will lose your weapons, and you will lose valuable time. So just don't do it. Okay, now we are headed into East Berlin. Friedrichstraße, really quickly. That's the problem, is that it actually gives you, it doesn't give you a lot of time to react. But fortunately, it actually doesn't take very long to get back to the Friedrichstraße stop. The problem is that it's not like a normal subway. It doesn't go back. It just circles around and loops around, which is not really the way a real subway works. But it's fiction. This is, at least, it's fiction. Computer programmers apparently didn't think about the way subways really work. It's not like a wrap. It doesn't wrap around to the one to the west. So, oh well. Alright, now I gotta show my passport to the border guards. And we can now go into East Berlin. Now, notice that all the buildings here are gray. Now, it's kind of funny because I'm sure that they probably made the buildings gray for a reason, because that's one of the things that a lot of eyewitnesses who used to live in East Berlin and then traveled to the west used to say about East Berlin, is the fact that compared to West Berlin and all the lights and all the glitz and all the shops and all the things happening, that East Germany and East Berlin was, by comparison, a very gray, drab place to live and to be. And of course, the buildings also look noticeably older and noticeably more run down. So that is definitely, yes, it definitely seems more like East Berlin. Okay, basically we are at Hildegard's apartment. So the next thing, and this is another option that I'm going to show you about the functionality, stake out. So I'm going to stake it out, which basically means you sit there and you watch people coming and going and watch the happenings. And I'm going to try it again, stake out. You see Hildegard leave the building. Now, here is our chance to use our trusty photo fax, which it doesn't let us do. Too bad. Fortunately, though, here's what we've got. Because the door is locked, we have got our trusty lock picks. We're going to pick the lock, which means that we can just waltz in to Hilda's apartment, and I'm going to be a nice person and use the superbug. Hildegard Frobel has now been bugged. So we have bugged her apartment, which means that what we probably should do next is maybe head back to our apartment, because we do have a place where we can actually listen to any recorded conversations. Of course, we may not have to do it just yet, but because she actually left. But that is what we can do. Of course, we can also explore a little bit around here, around East Berlin. So we are actually getting close to the end of our time. Of course, right now there's not a lot that we can do, well, except get attacked by a mugger in East Berlin. I'm not sure, but that's how it is. So Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to the next video. I will see you next time. So next time we're going to go ahead and explore East Berlin a bit more, head back to our apartment, see if we can find out more information. All right, we'll see you then.